still here. So that's fantastic. I'm Sarah Lau, and you know how at school when you have computer problems and you call your tech department and things have not worked for like an hour, you've been messing with it, your tech person walks in and it just magically works? You with me on that one? Okay. So this is I was going to say Matt Nelson. Yo-Yo Matt Nelson. He's my tech guy, and I thought if he sits up here, my Wi-Fi will work, everything would be great, kind of like pixie dust. So he's up here just to sprinkle some pixie dust on us and hope it all works. Well, welcome. Those of you who were in my session earlier, I gave you a little update on my parents. If you weren't in my session earlier, I did tell them that my parents are world champion pickleball players, and today happens to be the Huntsman World Senior Games, and they are competing, so here's your update. This morning my mom played doubles in women's, and she was the number 2 seed, ended up losing to the number 1 seed. She got bumped to loser's bracket, and hopefully by the end of the day we'll be playing the number 1 seed again. So, if you're here tomorrow for my session, I'll give you that update as well. But welcome, I'll give you a second here to get to the Padlet. I will be asking, I'll be crowdsourcing quite a bit, because I know that in a room, the smartest person is the room. So please get to the Padlet. I'm going to cross my fingers and sprinkle pixie dust that the tech works. I have a quick little story for you. Kind of an aha moment for myself. All right, Yo-Yo Matt, we need your pixie dust. Ready to sprinkle? We will try this again. If not, he has promised to sing for you, so that could be fun too. This picture is a good reminder to me of the worst, best experience of my life. In college, my sophomore year, I had the opportunity to study Spanish abroad in Costa Rica. And the way this worked was the first half of my stay in Costa Rica, I lived in the city with the host family and learned English. And the second half, we all spread out, all of us that were there from my university, and went to different places and did service work. So my service work happened to be an hour and a half up a mountain into a little town called Chiriaca de Acosta in Costa Rica in the rainforest. Super cool. And I was assigned to this school, Escuela Cristobal Colon, and I was supposed to teach 4th grade. And I say supposed to teach 4th grade because I had never taught a day in my life. I was still a sophomore, hadn't declared a major, had no clue what I wanted to do in life. And the first day I walk into class, and the teacher there, I have no clue what she was thinking. Probably more of a swim or sink type of a day. But she said, here's some chalk, literally handed me a basket of chalk. Here's your chalk, there's the class. Good luck, buena suerte, good luck. So I walk in, unprepared, in front of a whole room of Spanish-speaking 4th graders. And my Spanish at the time was un poquito. I hardly knew a word of Spanish. But what I did know is every time I turned around to write on the chalkboard with my basket of chalk, these little kids would laugh. And they would just giggle like crazy. And then I'd whip back around and they'd stop. And it would happen again every time I had to write. Turn around, they'd stop. This kept happening, and finally I ran out of the room in tears. I was like, I'm done, I can't do this, I'm out. And I'm a pretty artistic person, so I went to the director of the school and I said, okay, I get this whole service learning thing, but don't put me in there. Do not send me back into that classroom. And what she told me was, she goes, actually, you want to know why they're laughing, Sarah? And I'm like, well, yeah, why were they laughing? She goes, turn around. I turned around, black pants and all, 2 handprints. Yeah. Yeah, so every time I turned around, it was the funniest thing ever. And here's me, little baby teacher, non-teacher, sophomore in college. And here are the little hellions. So I did not teach again the entire stay there. In fact, I say it was the worst, best day of my life because I did come back to the States and I did say, I'm going to teach and I'm going to do it well. And from there I was very passionate about learning how to become a good teacher. And to start that off, I'm going to show this video. This is one of my favorite videos called It's Not About the Nail.
It's just, there's all this pressure, you know? And sometimes it feels like it's right up on me. And I can just feel it, like literally feel it in my head. And it's relentless. And I don't know if it's going to stop. I mean, that's the thing that scares me the most, that I don't know if it's ever going to stop.
Yeah. Well, you do have a nail in your head.
It's not about the nail.
Are you sure? Because, I mean, I'll bet it. We got that out of there.
Stop trying to fix it.
No, I'm not trying to fix it. I'm just pointing out that maybe the nail is causing.
You always do this. You always try to fix things when it really needs for you to just listen.
See, I don't think that is what you need. I think what you need is to get the nail in.
I'm not listening now.
Okay, fine. I will listen. Fine.
It's just, sometimes it's like, there's this achy, I don't know what it is. And I'm not sleeping very well at all. And all my sweaters are snagged. I mean, all of them.
That sounds really hard.
It is. Ow!
Come on, if you would just
That cracks me up every single time I see it. Oh my goodness. So we're talking about tech today, and we're talking about being an innovative teacher with tech. And I'm going to start out this presentation by saying it's not about the tech. It is not. When we talk about one-to-one devices, and I know the conversations, I've been having all conference, okay, what are you doing at your school? Oh, one-to-one iPad, one-to-one Chromebook, cards, this, that. It's not about the tech. And innovative teachers know this, and they know that it's about technology with purpose. This example here, I'm going to quick show you. Sometimes people ask me, how do you talk to kids about this? How do you make it not about the tech? So this quick video clip is going to show you a 7th grade class, just that conversation, what that might look like in a classroom.
Skills, but we also want to get some technology components also. And so rather than making it this Getting album kind of one way where I basically print product and parents can read it, we wanted to integrate technology so it's interactive. So we're going to take all that and upload it through Google Sites or Weebly website that parents and relatives and brothers and sisters can go to and interact with what they see. So they can add comments to the website. They could, if it's voiceover, they can actually speak into the computer and comment on what they like or memories maybe of them growing up. Pictures, so they can upload pictures. Our students can upload pictures, but maybe other family members can upload pictures. So it's kind of their own family story, but interactive. And that's why we're doing that.
While your classmate shows you some different things you can put into your website to make it interactive, I want you to be thinking about how you're picking the tool that you pick for this. With technology, there is infinite amounts of things you can pick and you can choose. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to actually come around and ask you, after you've made some decisions, and ask you why you picked that tool. So as your classmate, I'm going to show Corculus. As you show Corculus, if you're going to pick that, have that conversation with your brain. Why are you picking Corculus? What is it about that is the best tool for your website?
And another one I did was ABC Notes. This is what I did for my sister.
and added just text boxes with descriptions and what she likes to do. Do you have pictures of that? I think so. Yeah. So what is like lobster apples? What's that?
So what you're asking is there, you're using this and you make the background, looking at one picture, and that's your background. What decision making, what is that going to be? What picture gets to any decision? If you're a picture, I'm talking about a wall, you know, look at the picture or look at the album. Why are you going to pick? I think there's a difference maybe between this background and what you did to the dad. The dad got the work for. That's what the dad did. Your sister got colors and color, right? I mean, there's a distinction there between picking work for dad and work for.
Sorry about that. It was 8th graders, 7th graders. And this video is actually 2 years old, and I have no problem showing this video. And I know there are better tools than the ones you just heard mentioned for iPads, but I have no problem showing this video because it's not about the tool. And a lot of times with my teachers, I'll say to them, it doesn't matter. If you're using Corculus, PicCollage, PicMonkey, who cares? It's about the concept. What are you trying to do? What's your learning objective? At the end of the day, what's your objective? So really not about the tool, and innovative teachers know that. Real quick, because I mentioned the smartest person in the room is the room, I'm going to ask you to think for a second on this idea of using tech with a purpose. That's an innovative thing. Innovative teachers do that. They use it with a purpose, not just for the sake of using tech. So think about this for a second, and in your head, where are you? One strength area for you. You got this. You are all over this. You let kids use whatever the best tool is for the test. 10 would be, yeah, not so good. On Friday, everybody makes a PowerPoint, and the PowerPoints all look like this, and then we all do our 10-slide PowerPoint and insert a cookie cutter. So put yourself on that scale, and then I am going to do a little turn and talk. So if you're kind of sitting isolated, if you could find a couple people to talk to, and just share your story pretty quickly here. So quick 30-second turn and talk. When you're ready, go ahead and post to our Padlet. And I'll pull that up so we can all see what you're thinking.
How's it going?
Spanish, but if you could post the Padlet so we have some collective ideas that While you're throwing your ideas up here, I've actually just had a moment. I'm sorry to embarrass you. I just met a former student from my first baby class that I ever had, my first class Spanish, and I did apologize. I'm sure I was horrible. And she did confirm my first day ever teaching Spanish. I walked in, I'm not kidding, I tripped over the overhead board and smacked on my face. But she was not in that class. Okay. So I described myself that way. Awesome. All right, keep on posting if you're still there. The second thing, when we think about innovation and innovative teachers, what I've noticed being in classrooms, and I didn't lead with this, but I'll just give you this background knowledge. I'm a K-12 instructional coach for tech, so I do get to be in classes all the way from kindergarten to high school. A lot of classes. It's my 4th year in the position. Prior to that, I taught middle school, as we found out, Spanish and ELL and then literacy. But what I've found in my district is those teachers that promote membership in all forms, and what that means is those teachers that give students permission to Google it, to look it up, to check with an expert. The teachers that don't see themselves in that role of, okay, let's open your head, dump all the information in, I'm the giver, you're the receiver. But the teachers that really let the students embrace the learning and use their resources, those are the ones that I'm noticing in classrooms that are having the success. Those are the innovative teachers in my district. And these are just some ways they're doing that. If you don't recognize all these icons, we've got Twitter, Google+. This icon right here represents screencasting. That's the app Education. MoveNote is the last one. It's an app for our Chromebooks. Google, Facebook, Google Drive. So really allowing the experts to come through. So my next wonder is, how are you doing with this? And when I'm honest, and again I have to apologize to Melissa, I'm pretty sure my first year teaching Spanish, I saw myself as, I hold the knowledge, let me give it to you. And that's where I was at. I was definitely a 10. But now I've come full circle and I would put myself as more of a strength area for me. So go ahead, turn and talk, post the Padlet if you have something to say, but where are you at with this, with promoting mentorship in all forms?
Nelson area.
As you're wrapping up those conversations, I'm going to transition to the third thing I've noticed about teachers that are innovative. This has been a big thing for us at We Really Shall Rock. Last year, we really got on this, I don't want to call it a kick, because that sounds like it is important. We really started to focus on a growth mindset. And this year, we're taking that even a step further, and now we talk about productive struggle. And what we found in our elementaries especially, and all through, but I'm going to specifically talk about elementary, when we rolled out the new math series, Everett and Math, and they talk a lot about productive struggle, letting the students struggle. What we found was our students don't know how to struggle, and our teachers are not comfortable with letting them struggle. It's been like more of a struggle for the teachers. I know it sounds weird, but the teachers are struggling more than the kids with this because they just want to hand it to them. They want to fix it. They want everybody to get it right away. So we've done a lot of work in our district with growth mindset and productive struggle. Quick story, this just happened. New teacher to our district. First time with the content, with behavior management, the whole shebang. And as you know, if you're an elementary teacher walking into an elementary classroom the first year, it's a lot. And then throw in iPads and initiatives, it's a lot. And this teacher was not doing very well. It was tears, like every day, tears, not wanting to come back. And we kind of wrapped a bunch of support around here. And one of our instructional coaches went in and she said, hey, can you give me half an hour with your kids? And the teacher's like, please, can you stay longer? Take them. And she's like, give me half an hour. And she did this whole lesson with the kids on productive struggle. And she took them through this riddle and this lesson and let them struggle and talked about it and taught them some ways, some really good vocabulary to talk about struggling. And then she stayed with the riddle and the teacher went on with her lesson. And pretty soon the teacher went over to a kid because they talked about the language, you know, what language you use. And the teacher said to the kid, are you done struggling? Or are you still struggling, or do you need help? And the kid goes, nope, I'm still struggling with this. And as our instructional coach sat there, this teacher now was empowered with the vocabulary to talk to the students about this, and the students have these words. I'll leave these up here a second. This might be something you want to take a picture of or Google it. Sylvia Duckworth is the creator of that one. But we'll give you some time. Talk to a neighbor. How are you at letting your kids struggle and teaching your kids how to struggle? So let that sit a little bit here.
Oh, I'm a lonely painter. I live by faith. Riding by the devil, and now I'm drawn to those ones who ain't afraid. Remember that time you
Go ahead and talk to a neighbor. Where are you? 1 to 10. Back to that. Yes, that's me.
are you born out is like
do that.
All right, let's see where we're at on the hazard. And if you put something up here, but you'd rather just say it and expand on it, please just shout it out here. Seeing some 3s and 4s, 7 and 8. And it really is a training thing. I'm reminded of that when I read this. They don't, let's see where to go. It's moving on. That the students have a hard time struggling. You do. You have to train them. You have to train them to be okay with the struggle and to sit in the struggle. So I am noticing quite a few lower numbers on this. Oh, last one too. The next thing innovative teachers do that I've noticed is they build something together both locally and globally. If you did click on the presentation, this is a video, really good. It's a tearjerker of a commercial. I won't play it, but I'll leave in there for a hook for you if you want to use it with kids. But innovative teachers, they really take the learning beyond the classroom walls. It's not about me and the kids. Let's go out, number one, authentic audience, but also helping people and helping people locally and globally. This is such a neat project, and I'm so honored to have Chelsea Meyer in the room. Can you at least wave? Okay, she's kind of like very modest. Chelsea was formerly an art teacher at Wheelie Shell Rock, and she partnered with, correct me if I get details wrong, she partnered with the FCS teacher, Gateway to Technology, math, what am I missing? Special education. All those teachers came together for this collaborative project, and it was the neatest thing to see. What they did is they had this whole contest where the kids were in teams, okay? And the kids were designing, I believe they designed first on paper, and they had specific requirements because they were learning about financial literacy, so they had to deal with budgets and money and how much would it take to make this community sculpture. And what you see here is the end product. They actually picked one of the designs, created it. But along the way in art, they actually made it from paper and from the computer-generated model, and Gateway to Technology, they made it 3D model, and then they actually partnered with the high school welding class, and they built this. And there were so many people and hands involved. It was just the neatest thing. And it's still there today if you come visit our district. How'd I do? Good? Okay. This example comes from our TAG program, where again, really focusing on passion-based and project-based learning. These kids were given a task of researching something they were passionate about. So each child chose something they were passionate about, and they had to do some kind of a public service announcement. So you're seeing some of the posters that came out of that effort. This is from Family Consumer Science again, talking about doing things beyond the classroom walls, involving community and globally, and they're making blankets for babies. This one, again, one of Chelsea Meyer. She's awesome at this. I don't know too much about this. I think I saw this on your website, but students creating art, and the money went for Crafts for Cancer. So again, that real world, authentic audience, and doing things for good. This came from a high school biology class who rallied around the plight of the monarch butterfly, and they created a website and had a community event to educate people on the monarch butterfly. This comes from a middle school literacy class who partnered with another classroom, I believe in Canada, read the story of Iqbal, and they ended up journaling about this, blogging about it, and collaborating with this other class to share their stories as well. And I've got some more examples if you are in the presentation. But how are you doing on this? Are you giving your kids real-world audiences, ways to go beyond the classroom, ways to help other people? Either 1, a 10, or somewhere in between. So go ahead and discuss that with those around you. How are you doing this in your classroom? Yes.
So this started out as a really tiny thing. I had 5 years ago, Veterans Day was coming up, 11/11/11, whatever, 4 years ago. And I thought, oh, maybe we should write letters to veterans from our language arts class. So we wrote them thank you letters, which as an 8th grader, you would think you know how to write a letter, address an envelope. They do not. So it was a lot of skill building there. Well, then we decided that we should make a recognition program. So the students themselves created this program, and a lot of the veterans that they wrote to say thank you to ended up writing back to them.
Oh,
And at the end of the year, all the evaluations, that was the thing that they remembered most from the 2 classes I had them in. It was pretty cool.
why do you think they remember that?
Real life, you know, making an impact. Personal connection.
Most people love to help.
Yeah.
We love to feel like we're making a difference. We as adults, but kids too.
They learn so much along the way too, you know, real life, how to interact with someone.
And I'm wondering if you saw a difference in their writing and having that audience.
Oh yeah.
Level of concern a little higher.
They would peer edit each other, so a little bit of
Awesome.
accountability.
And that's been my experience too. When you give them the audience, that real person receiving that letter, it's a game changer. Awesome. Anybody else? If you think of something as I'm going here, just add to that Padlet. I would love to hear your ideas. The last one, which is kind of one of those things, it's like, we do this, we know this, but sometimes we forget. Offering fun and choice. And I was so excited with iTech this year because gamification is such a passion of mine because I've seen it work with adults and kids, reluctant learners, high kids, the whole gamut. I've seen this work. So this year at iTech, seeing so many sessions has been amazing because this has really been a game changer for me and a lot of teachers that I've seen in the district. Another example, just going to quickly walk you through the basics of gamification. I know there are a lot of sessions. Have any of you been to any of the gaming sessions yet? Okay, if you're here tomorrow and you haven't been to one, I really highly recommend you hit one of the gamification sessions. It is good stuff. This example comes from Chelsea as well. See, I'm so honored that you're here. She's just like doing it the right way. She's very innovative. But with gaming, here are some of the basics. Establishing rules, conditions for winning, What does success look like? Badging is a big thing. You're seeing a lot of sessions here at Tech 2 about badging, so if you haven't been into that badging, get to it. These are some of Chelsea's badges she created for her art classroom. Creating, presenting, responding, these are tying to the art standards. They're not just arbitrary, it's very much the curriculum and the standards that she works with. And then having exclusive badges for some of those soft skills or some of those things that aren't necessarily tied to the standards but that you want to encourage students to do. She's got Creativity Connected, Brilliant Blogger, Branding Blogger, Pinner Pro, so a lot of really neat exclusive badges. A lot of times with gaming we talk about different motivations. They don't have to be tangible and cost money, some of these do, but they can be things that create power in the classroom. I was just at one of Michael's sessions and he did a great job talking about just using badges that they're free. I think he even uses stickers they put on binders, which I'm like, that's brilliant, I love it. Some of the game basics, if you're new to it, make sure it's tied to a standard. That's always the place to start. What is it you want kids to be able to do? And then creating your game and your conditions for winning around that. Choice is also a big part of gaming, and that's that fun and choice, and that's what innovative teachers are doing. They're giving kids multiple pathways to get to the same place. Point values are in gaming a lot, but not always. I've seen a lot of games too that don't have points, but they have levels. So you do these things, you unlock these levels. Missions are a big part of it. Quests, they just sound more fun than assignments and tasks. When you call it a mission, a challenge, it just makes it more fun. If your school has access to technology, and I am curious, how many of you are in situations where you're one-to-one with something? Okay, that's over 50% of us. That's awesome. 3-5 years ago, that would have not been the case in this room. With access to technology, no longer do we have to use class time doing direct instruction. It used to be, again, Melissa, I'm so sorry, I'm sure I was horrible. It used to be the teacher, again, if you had that mindset of teacher, student, I know the information and important to you, the teacher would deliver all the direct instruction. Now, if you have an environment, especially one-to-one, give people resources they can watch on their own. A lot of times, there's already a video tutorial, somebody's made it. I know a lot of times when I'm looking for tutorials on things, I don't have to make it because somebody already has. So giving kids those resources, throwing it out there to them, say, hey, if you learn best by discovery and you just want to play and figure it out, awesome. If you need a video, awesome, here you go. If you can collaborate and help a neighbor, awesome, there you go. But give kids multiple ways to learn the content. Another thing with gaming, this is, I don't know how long you've been doing this, Chelsea? A couple years? Just one. If you can give kids examples, great. If you can't, great. I think that's something that kind of comes as you go along and create those. Definitely tying it to the standards. We are a K-8 standards-based system, so having those rubrics that you're probably using anyway, and again, talking about gaming basics, you want kids to know the conditions for success and the conditions for winning, so make sure you've got your standards. But at the end of the day, however you can make learning fun, and however you can give students choice in the process, because it is their learning. So let's talk about this one. How are you doing with fun and choice? As you're wrapping this one up, where are you? Anyone feeling brave, you want to share out? I am curious, with all the talk about these people, how many of you have tried a game-based anything, lesson, units a little bit bigger? How many of you tried those? 2, 3, kind of? I think next year this time we're going to see an explosion because I believe as people start trying this and the fun and the choice and the student engagement, I can see the ripple effect of this. I can see us really working in the classroom because I've seen it already. My last question for you is this. I tell my teachers when they come to iTech that you're probably going to get a lot of ideas, you're probably going to get a headache, and your head might explode. Are any of you sitting in that boat right now? Okay. I know what you're feeling here. Actually, earlier today, my headache set in a little bit earlier. My mind was already like completely full. So I tell my teachers one thing. Take away one thing from the conference. Give yourself a little bit of time and permission. And if you can implement one thing, we've had a success. So here's my question for you. What's one way, one thing you can do to be more innovative this year? So as a commitment to that, I'm asking that you turn to that neighbor, you commit to them, hey, here's what I'm doing this year. If you want to get totally crazy, you can post it to the Padlet like, hey, here's my commitment, I'm doing this. But that's just crazy talk. And with that, once you have that conversation, I want to thank you for coming, and I do encourage you to take one thing back to your district and one thing back to your students. So, go ahead and have that conversation, and if I don't see you yet today, I'll see you tomorrow.